My first memory of Rikers Island, fearful, dim, scary. And I was a notorious guy out of Brooklyn. I was a notorious guy out of Brooklyn. I was afraid. My full name is Dorian Brooks. I was running the streets when I was 10 years old, 11 years old. I was running the streets. I was in the streets. I was on Kingston Avenue. I'm from Kingston Avenue, Crown Heights. I was abused. I came from an abusive household. My father was a brute. He beat my mother. He beat us. He molested us, my sisters. And this prepared me for the streets, and the streets prepared me for prison. I was shooting people. I was robbing. I was doing a whole lot of negative things. At the age of 19, I was a suspect of 13 homicides. They tried me for 3 homicides. I beat 2 and I got convicted for 1, and they gave me 18 years to life, and I did 22 years. The particular incident that I went to prison for, I was innocent. Even at the parole, but I fought innocent all the way through until they let me go. But I'm not an angel. I had a fight. I had a fight and I had got 30 days in the Bing. We call it the Bing at the time. Solitary confinement, we call it the Bing. But I had got 30 days for a fight in Rikers Island. And it was just, it's loud. No one really sleeps. You got people talking about, they telling jokes about your mother, making fun of the COs, the correction officers, the nurses that may come through the gallery. And it's just loud, it's chaotic, it's crazy. It's crazy.
The next item on the agenda is the West facility.
The department has been aware for a long time that the board is concerned about serious violations of the minimum standards at West Facility.
When I went out there, like, the cameras aren't working.
Where used to be monitors in the cells, those have all been removed. People are brought over to West Facility. I don't know if everybody who's come to this meeting is aware. People are brought to West Facility without a charge. They're not given the ability to appeal their movement there. They're not, and there's no endpoint. And they're essentially all locked in 23 hours a day. People complain to me about access to religious services. One of the prisoners was asked if he could get communion, was told that he couldn't.
I go through those areas consistently, and I ask each and every staff member for any concerns. And I also, and I've toured those areas several times with your board members, and they could attest to it that I reach out to each and every inmate in there, and I look for and I ask for any kind of concerns that they may have.
We are all in agreement that the West facility is not an appropriate housing area for persons with serious mental illness. We do, however, currently not have a CAPS-style unit that really is dedicated and sufficient for people who have serious mental illness.
The challenges that lie ahead, I think one of the main challenges to me is social awareness, man. I think a lot of the correctional officers are not socially aware. I've seen people get handcuffed and thrown down flights of stairs. That shook me up when I was in Clinton. They handcuffed a guy behind his back and threw him down a flight of stairs.
As far as I know, the West facility, it's a facility at Rikers Island, and it's a facility in which there are currently several violations going on. It takes a terrible toll on their mental health, and especially for inmates that are in pretrial detention, on their hope. People really just it makes them want to just plead to whatever they're accused of so they can get out of solitary or get out of Rikers as soon as possible.
I've been back and I go there as a reminder that this is where you don't want to be. Well, I have a friend on Rikers Island now that I communicate with. He calls me. I keep my phone on. I try to keep contact with guys that are still incarcerated because I know what they're going through. My friend, he actually told me last night. He called me. He told me that, and he said it's crazy. He said Rikers Island is crazy. He said it's crazy. He said I'm holding my head. That's what he said. I'm holding my head. I hope I get out soon, or you might see me on the news. He said it's crazy.